And may our hearts be open to hear the voice of the Lord as He calls to us this day. Amen. All right, we've got the three of us. We're right over here together. All right, so first of all, I'm just going to give you a little bit of this straw. And Gabby was here with me last week when we put the straw down the first time. Would you hold some straw, please? Thank you. All right, so I wanted you to look at the straw for just a moment, because when we put the straw down, we were doing some preparation. We were preparing our manger scene. We were preparing our stable, right? So why would we want to have straw in a manger? Any idea? No idea. To make it soft, sure. To eat it. Who eats straw? Animals, exactly. Horses eat straw. And for what? Farm animals, exactly. Farm animals eat straw. So what we were doing is we were preparing the stable for the animals. Well, who came today? The animals, right? We brought the animals in, so they're going to just be sitting around munching on that straw and doing things that animals do. I'm not sure if they know what's about to happen, but we know that new things are going to be going on in this stable. Next week we'll bring in the shepherds to take care of those sheep, and then Mary and Joseph are going to come, and on Christmas Eve we'll see the baby Jesus arrive. So our lessons today, in just a minute I'm going to let you put that back in the stable to feed some of those animals, but our lessons today talk about preparing the way. Did you hear that when they were reading? Did you hear them say, prepare the way for the Lord? Make straight the paths for Him. What did they say to do with the mountains? Anybody hear that? Joseph, what did they say to do?
To make them shorter.
To make them shorter, exactly. Level the mountains. What did they just say to do with the valleys? Fill them up, right? Zion, you can come join us. So they want the mountains to go down. They want the valleys to come up. They said rough places. What should we do with the rough places?
Make them smooth.
Make them smooth, exactly. So now when I see this picture, I see that like all of these ups and downs and tripping hazards and everything are being flattened out. Why would we do that? Why would we want to smooth the ground and level everything off? What would make us do that? Well, let's say we're creating a stable for our animals, and there's a bunch of deep holes that the cow might put their hoof in and trip and break their leg. Or what if there were some big rocks that were sharp, and we needed to get the stable ready? What would we do? Joseph, what would we do to those deep holes that were dangerous? We'd fill them up. What would we do with those sharp rocks? Ari, what do you think? We're going to pick them up and move them, right? Because we want that to be a safe place for all the animals, right? So in this gospel that we heard today, we hear that John is beginning to proclaim that message that the prophet Isaiah first talked about. That in order to prepare the way for God and for people to experience God, we've got to fill in those holes, and we've got to move out the rough and jagged things. We've got to level the mountains and smooth the rough places. Let's say Reverend Paula was going to take us all on a hike. We did that once, didn't we, Joseph? And Paula chose, because she's such a good hiker, a really, really rough and rugged terrain where we had to climb the sides of mountains and rappel off. And how do you think, Joseph, you and I would have done on that one? Maybe really bad. Yeah, let's just be honest. Really bad, yes. So, but when we chose a hike to go on, Reverend Paula chose a hike that had what kind of trails? They were smooth. They were smoother trails, right? They were smoother trails. They had been leveled out so that all of us could go. Not just really amazing hikers like Reverend Paula. Because that is what the gospel is challenging us to. And that's what John was challenging the people of his time to. He said, the message of God and the glory of God and the salvation of God are for all the people. Thank you. Level the mountains, fill the valleys, smooth out the rough places, so that all flesh may see God. So that entirely, the entirety of, the universality of all those who have flesh, all human beings, not just the ones that go to our church, not just our friends, everyone. And so I think one of the things that we're challenged to is not only to not put stumbling blocks in front of people. Like if you were going to walk somewhere and I just started filling it with junky rocks and big things that would trip you up, that wouldn't be very nice. So we shouldn't be putting stumbling blocks out. But John's call is bigger than that. If there's a mountain that's keeping someone from seeing God, we're called to help level it. If there's a valley that's keeping people from experiencing God, we're called to help fill it. And I wonder what that looks like. What are the mountains? What are the valleys? What are the rough places that might keep people from seeing God? Something to ponder this Advent season. Amen. All right, can you guys go feed those animals? Might cause some people to trip and stumble. You got that? Can I help? All right, thank you.